This is just another one of those things that are new that it's coming to our city. This tri-state area will finally see a new bridge over the Neversink River, which is right here behind me, that you don't want to sit on for too long. While East Main Street corridor entrance will see a third lane. The three major intersections right here at North and South Maple Avenue along with Main Street, and the intersections of Pike and Main and Kingston and Main will be realigned. And last year, we added the new Safe Routes to School Sidewalks project that'll be installed along East Main Street, Kingston Avenue, and Hamilton Streets between our middle and high school complexes. What began as a very much needed replacement for the 1926 bridge over the Neversink River quickly grew into a road widening project for the commercial section of the Tri-State East Main Street in 1999. The two projects seemed to naturally fit together and were combined as one project a few years later. Unfortunately, the next several years would see the project delayed, and what was intended and granted to be a $6 million project bogged down with many delays and holdups from studies on endangered species to floods that redrew FEMA floodplains and to concern of archaeological issues. These delays, of course, escalated the cost, as well as the concern regarding a safe bridge. This concern became even more apparent when the New York State Department of Transportation inspection revealed a red flag for safety on the bridge, and additional costs were incurred to make the current bridge stable. I'm just going to go off key here for a minute. If you look at the bottom of the bridge, there are supports that come over on this side and then rods that run up the side of the bridge. It was only supposed to hold together for 3 to 5 years. We are now close to 8-9 years that this is finally coming to fruition. This did not stop those that were committed to seeing that this new bridge and the entire project come to fruition. Although the project has been on the desk of 5 mayors who worked to move it forward, from Mike Warden, who actually bore the idea, to my father, Mayor Ross Decker, to Mayor Gary Lapriori, who is here today, to Mayor Russ Potter, who will be here shortly, and then, of course, myself. I cannot emphasize enough that it was 4th Ward Councilman Frank Bell who really pushed to make sure his constituents saw a new bridge and a new corridor that would boost commercial development on this end of the city. There were many others who had a major hand in this project and were committed to seeing it happen, such as former Department of Public Works Director Vince Lopez, as well as, it used to be Clow Harbor when the project first started, it is now CHA, Ted Otney, who's here with us today. He is no longer with CHA, and of course Joe Cimino, who is our project engineer. While we wish the project was still $6 million in total, that pipe dream disappeared with many delays and a new sticker price of $19,659,590 will hopefully complete the project. Although the 80% commitment from the federal government and the 1999 15% commitment from New York State certainly helps defray the cost of this enormous task, the city taxpayers must still make a commitment of nearly $1 million for this project. That cost would have been much more if it had not been for the help of Orange County Transportation Council and the many key figures, such as our Orange County Executive, Steve Newhouse, who is here today and will speak in a few minutes, Deputy County Executive Harry Poore, our Orange County Legislator Tom Fagione, who's here today, as well as our Orange County Legislature, Deer Park Supervisor Gary Spears, who is also here today, and Town of Warwick Supervisor Mike Sweeten, who is also here today. They all worked behind the scenes to find additional monies needed for the project, taking from other projects around the county that were not quite ready to go to construction. Additionally, we offer a thank you to the towns of Neversink, Greenville, and Kairos Joel, who gracefully ceded some of their funded projects to see this Port Jervis project get off the ground. Most of all, we need to thank our current Department of Public Works Director, Jack Farr. for his sincere diligence and commitment to follow the money and to push to see this project set off today. So as I close, and I'll ask a few people to come up and speak, I will be welcoming you all back next year to the christening of our new bridge and new tri-state corridor. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to ask our New York State Assemblyman, Carl Brabenek, to say a few words, please.
Thank you, Mayor. And as the Mayor said, this is an absolutely wonderful day for the City of Port Jervis. As you can see in the downtown of Port Jervis and all around us here, the city is in a renaissance. It's in a rebirth, and it's wonderful. New businesses are coming in, new people are coming in. We need to desperately improve our infrastructure. This is the first step. We're seeing here a bridge that's like many bridges around the state, many bridges around Orange County. They're 75 to 100 years old. They're way past their useful life, and it is time to start replacing many of these bridges, with this one being a top priority here. And I'm very, very happy that this has been a priority for the Mayor and the City Council, and kudos to all of you for making this a priority. Tom Fagione working with the county, and my colleague Gary Spears, and Mike Sweeten also working on this project, and the county executive as well. As you've heard, 15% of the funding is coming from New York State. We were happy to be a part of that as well. And whatever we can do to assist this project further, we will be here. And we look forward to seeing a brand new bridge here come next year, and the continuous rebirth of the City of Port Jervis way into the future. So congratulations, everyone, and thank you.
Thank you, Assemblyman. I'd also ask our County Executive, Steve Newhouse, to come up and say a few words.
Thanks, Kelly. It's always great to be here in Port Jervis. Kelly Decker, we always have a strong relationship. I want to thank a couple people, Mike Sweeten and Gary Spears. They had to fight for this with the Orange County Transportation Council, as well as the mayor and the representatives here, Mr. Farr, my friend here, and the better of the brothers of the Farr family. This was not an easy task, because as the mayor indicated, the city's going to be paying a little bit over $1 million on a $19 million project that the federal government and the state government are going to be shouldering the bigger the burden of it. That doesn't come very easy, because we had other people that were fighting for different pots of money. We had to make accommodations that the Heritage Trail extension that's going to go through the village of Goshen, town of Goshen, city of Middletown into Walk Hill, that money wasn't going to be in jeopardy. So there was a lot of working behind the scenes to make sure that everybody was accommodated to make this happen. Just two quick things on it. When we talk about infrastructure, a lot of people are worried about the traffic. What's going to happen when the bridge is closed? What kind of accommodations are going to be made? I've seen a lot of major projects around the county, including the major exit in Harriman. That's the gateway to Orange County coming from the thruway. That is working pretty seamlessly, and that's a major operation. The mayor and I talked before we got up here, and we talked about the new bridge that's going to be there. This might be reduced to a single lane at different times, but you're going to have a brand new bridge, 2 new culverts, and a better transportation system. Why does that matter? Every major company that comes to Orange County, whether it's a Legoland or whether it's a McKesson, they want to drive around here with us. I get them in the car with me, we drive around, and they say, what the heck is happening with this bridge? What's happening with this road? They want to make sure that we're on top of the infrastructure, so that when the private sector wants to invest, that they are going to invest in a place that takes care of its own infrastructure. That's what you see the City of Port Jervis doing right now, being responsible, upgrading it. This bridge was 1926. So bridges, and I got a couple engineers here. When I took office, they say a bridge lasts about 75 years. We've made a very aggressive bridge program in Orange County government since I've taken office. We're doing about 5 or 6 a year. We have about 150 bridges that we're responsible for, plus or minus. So this is what you call taking care of being responsible, taking care of your infrastructure, and this is going to lead to a rebirth in the continued economic development that you see happening in Port Jervis and area community. So I congratulate you, Mayor. It was not easy. It's going to be a great project. You're going to have a couple headaches, but I think it's going to be very well deserved at the end. Thank you.
Headaches, I'm used to those. I also want to welcome, we have several council members here today, and former Mayor Dick Roberts is also here, as well as many of our department heads. I also see Frank's wife, Jean, and here in the crowd. So when we go to shovel, Jean, I want you up here also, because this is for Frank. The company that won the bid is D.A. Collins, and there are representatives from D.A. Collins here today. And if you have any questions, please feel free to call my office. If you don't get anybody, you can call Robin. Robin will answer, and she'll try to give you the best answer she can, or Jack. With that said, I'm going to, are there any questions about what's going on here or any of the changes? We are going to see the demolition of this building here, the demolition of the two buildings across the river. There will be a temporary bridge put in, and you will see, for the most part, as long as it stays on schedule and weather bearing, we will see our new bridge totally in place by the end of next year. The project won't be completed until 2020, but hopefully for the minor headaches that there will be, and as you can see, it's really going to be limited one lane. We should have open traffic at all times, so we're looking forward to working with D.A. Collins, CHA, who's on scene, as well as the New York State Department of Transportation is also here, working together to make this work for our citizens. So without further ado, I think we're going to put one shovel in the ground. Did I see our district attorney's also here? How are you, sir? Thank you for coming. I was kind of delaying just a little bit because Mayor Potter, who is also involved in this project, is supposed to be here. He got stuck at the dentist, so if we take our time getting up here, maybe he'll make it in time. Mike Warden, who started the project, unfortunately was unable to attend. He had a prior commitment, but he sends his well wishes. So if I'd ask for our former mayor to come up, our county exec, some of the key figures, including our council, to come up. But let's make sure Mrs. Bell has a shovel, and we'll take our first shovel and start our project.
It's all going behind us, right? Kel? You guys throw it on the pile. Well, I'll throw it at you.
Here. Oh, Maria, get it.
Look back up on the pile.
Yeah, up on the pile.
Look, everybody look at the cameras, please. 3, 2, 1, on the pile. All right.